Hey there, guys. Don't have the tripod set up, so you're gonna have to deal with this kind of in the way, unfortunately. So, yeah, this is a really weird camera setup at the moment. I'm sorry. This It's painful to me to just sit here and see this because it doesn't look that good. Alright, guys. Superman 2 is directed by Richard Lester. So, what happened was Richard Donner started shooting Superman 2 a little bit during the filming of Superman the movie, and then after. And what happened was, I believe the studio just didn't like the direction they were going with the movie, so I don't know, something happened. He got booted, and they hired Richard Lester to finish it, and he had to reshoot a lot of the scenes, and yeah, we were left with kind of a messy movie. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I friggin' enjoyed Superman 2 a lot. Superman 2 is probably one of my favorite of the older superhero movies, and just like the original Superman, I wish I had seen it sooner, because it's pretty friggin' great. But that being said, it does have some big issues. Again, most of it just has to do with the fact that these movies were more reliant on showing us cool action and stuff rather than showing us actual well-rounded stories with incredibly complex plots and little to no issues with the story or anything like that. These movies were just made to be fun. And this movie is really fun. And the villain is great too. The villains. You have General Zod is arguably the main villain of the movie, and he has his little crew of Kryptonians. I forgot their names, but they were all cool. And then they team up with Lex Luthor, so that's kind of cool. Gene Hackman is back from the first movie. So you got a villain team up, and it's fun. I like Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. He's got such a great just charm to him. Like, you know he's a bad guy and that he's just a crappy human being. But he's just having so much fun with the part that you love him. Christopher Reeve continues to shine as Superman in this movie, and I absolutely love the whole subplot of him, of Lois trying to prove that Clark is Superman, because she figures out pretty early on in the movie that Superman and Clark Kent are very strikingly similar. So she spends the movie trying to prove that Clark Kent is Superman, and then he does eventually reveal it to her after she just keeps pushing, and he doesn't have a choice anymore. Honestly, I don't have very many flaws with this movie. I love the whole story point of how Clark, he gives up his powers because he just wants to have a normal life. So he gives up his powers, and he goes with Lois, and he gets into a fight at the diner, and for the very first time he knows how it feels to get his butt kicked and to bleed and to feel defeated. And that is one of my favorite parts of the movie, just seeing Superman the iconic, unbreakable character that we all know and love, seeing him with a black eye and a bloody nose and just all around beaten, is pretty incredible. Like, not incredible in a good way, it's just incredible that in a movie that was made in the 80s, before we started to get really, really dark, complex comic book movies, had something like that where you have this strong character getting beaten so badly. And then, of course, he does get his powers back and he becomes Superman again. And the end fight of this movie is pretty cool. I mean, you have Kryptonians fighting Kryptonians. That's always interesting. And then, you know, you get your Superman ending. Honestly, there are probably some problems with this movie. I don't know. When I watched it, all that really stuck out in my mind was that I'm having a great time with this, and I love this movie more than I love Superman the movie. Now, I haven't checked out the Richard Donner cut yet, or at least I don't know. But I haven't checked out the Richard Donner cut yet, but I'm intrigued to see what is different in it. But I can't imagine there'd be too much different. But it'll be interesting to check out. I would have liked to have seen, actually, like, a better Superman trilogy with Christopher Reeve, because a lot of people like to point out that Superman 3 is where the Superman movies kind of started to take a steep slide. Because you had Superman the movie, which is great. You have Superman 2, which is also great. And then you have Superman 3, which I have not watched yet, but I haven't heard great things about. And then Superman 4 it's up there with Batman and Robin as one of the worst superhero movies and one of the worst DC movies, so definitely looking forward to checking that one out. But, yeah. Guys, if you have not seen Superman 2, or you haven't watched it in a while, I can't recommend enough how much you should watch it. And I can't believe I'm already almost through the Superman movies. I mean, I've got 3 left. I got three left, guys. Superman 3, Quest for Peace, and then Superman Returns. And that is all going to be within, like, the next 2 months. And I'm already going to be done with Superman and moving on to Batman. So, yeah. I am going to give Superman 2 an A+. Guys, I thoroughly actually enjoyed this movie way more than I enjoyed the first Superman. Excuse me. I always love the superhero sequels because the origin story is nice, but I absolutely love getting the stories where you don't have to establish the superhero. We're already familiar with him from the first movie, or her, and then you're throwing these characters back, and it's just the familiarity and fun of seeing the return of the characters is what I love about sequels. It's one of the things I love about Superman 2. It's one of the things I love about Iron Man 2, Captain America, Spider-Man 2 especially. And heck, even the Amazing Spider-Man 2 a little bit. But, so, yeah. Thank you guys for watching my review of Superman 2. Check back here pretty soon for my review of Superman 3. We're not doing a funny bad this week. just because too busy, can't get Mason available to do it. So we'll probably have one next week though, hopefully. And yeah, so just want to let you guys know there's not going to be a Funny Bad this week. Thanks for watching. Bye.